Good morning, everyone. This is Nandi. Welcome to Vibrant Authentic Living. As usual, I'm in my kitchen. It is 5:25 a.m. here in Jamaica, and I'm preparing my herbal tea juice blend. So normally I steep my herbal tea from the night before. So this herbal tea, this has 5 herbs. This has dandelion root, it has plantain leaf, rosemary, marshmallow leaf, and gotu kola. Very strengthening to the nervous system, very cleansing for the kidneys and the bloodstream. So this herbal tea blend, I steeped it in hot water for a little while last night, and then I stored it in my refrigerator. So it's ready now to be strained, and then I'm going to blend it up with some lemons, some pineapple, and apple, iti apple. So I'm going to start by straining the leaves from the tea. So I'm just going to pour the herbal tea blend into the bowl with the strainer there, and I'm going to kind of squish it around, make sure all the tea leaves get out. And I'm just going to use the spoon to squeeze through just to make sure all the tea comes out and only the leaves are left. Of course, I'm going to put these tea leaves, the trash is going to go straight into my compost heap. So I always collect the tea leaves, the peels, the fruit peels, all the trash that's left back after I make my juices, they go into my compost heap. So I'm going to put this back into my jars for safekeeping, and some into the bullet because I'm going to start the blend. I'm actually going to blend the fruits into the using the herbal tea as a base. So I'm going to actually start by juicing my lemons. I have lemons. Two lemons. I'm going to cut and juice them, just squeezing them through the strainer, collecting them in the bowl. All right, so I have an orange juicer which I can use for my lemons or even my limes. I don't like to use it. For some reason, I just prefer to squeeze. I prefer to squeeze my lemons, and I actually use my hand and squeeze out all the goodness. The lemons, of course, very astringent, very cleansing, and they add a lovely zesty taste to any juice that you're making. The lemons and limes, they add that zest to it. Alright, so I'm squeezing out the juice from the lemons. I'm going to rinse my hands. Alright, so now I'm just going to add the pineapple. So here are some pineapple slices, very ripe, very mellow. I'm going to add that to my herbal tea in the NutriBullet. And I'm going to blend that and strain it. It doesn't take much. Doesn't take much for pineapples to be pulverized in the bullet. So this is the pineapple juice, and I'm going to be just a minute. All right, so I'm going to be straining this. So I use the spoon to just help that juice to come out from the strainer. Right? Use the spoon. And I'm actually going to just pour a little more of the tea into the strainer to help that juice to come out and to just make sure that I'm extracting all of the goodness from the pineapple. So the spoon will help it to come through, to squeeze through, apply some pressure to the spoon. And the more you do that, the more the water comes through, and then you just with the pineapple, some persons actually don't strain their pineapple. They just blend and have it in the smoothie. I prefer to strain my pineapples. That's just me, right? So I prefer to strain. So I'm straining out all of this goodness from the pineapples. Sometimes when I'm using the herbal teas, some of the teas are a little bitter. I don't mind the bitter, but what happens is the lemon juice or the lime juice, it helps to cut some of that bitterness. And using the lemons and the pineapples, these tangy fruits, they just give that nice zest to your herbal teas when you add them. So I'm taking out the trash that's left. And now, so I'm going to blend my Otaiti apples. So these are the apple slices. So I'm adding that to the bullets. And pouring in the rest of my herbal tea. And I'm going to blend this now. Again, it doesn't take much to pulverize the apples. You don't have to blend it for a very long time. Just and just use the rest of the tea just to add to that, just to make sure we're taking out, extracting all of that, those nutrients, that goodness from the apples. So just use the spoon, just work the spoon, apply some pressure, this way and that way to get everything out. If you choose, you don't have to strain. Some persons love the fiber. For fiber, I eat the fruits. So for the fiber, I eat the fruits as is. So when it's juicing time, I like to have just a juice. I don't like to have too much fiber in my juice or even in my smoothie. I like it smooth. So once I'm gonna be juicing, well, depending on what it is. So like for my papayas, my bananas, mangoes, jackfruit, you don't strain those. I never strain those. But like the apples, the pineapple, I will strain it. Alright, so I think I've extracted all that is going to be extracted from my apples, my Otahiti apples. So now I'm just going to put the trash in my container where I collect all the trash from the kitchen, and that will go into my compost heap. So the last thing I'm going to add now is some pure honey. So this is pure honey. I'm not adding it for the sweetness. I'm adding it because honey is such a nutritious, powerfully nutritious food. So if it was just for the sweetness, I'll just drink my juices as is. I love my juices as is. But just to increase the nutritional value, I'm adding the honey. So I'm giving it a good stir. To make sure all the honey gets into it, dissolved into it. So now I'm going to transfer this back to my jar. And I try to use my glass jars as much as I can. Much better than using the plastic, but I do have some plastic in my kitchen, but mostly I use glass jars. Okay, so I'm pouring in, and there's a little bit of honey left, not dissolved, so I'm just going to stir that. Make sure. All right, so this is my herbal tea blend. So it's herbal tea blend with pineapple, apple, and lemon. So it's dandelion root, marshmallow leaf, plantain leaf, gotu kola, great for the brain, the nervous system, and also rosemary, which is also great for your brain, restore your memory. So all these herbs are great for you, and blending them with the fruit juices is a wonderful way of consuming your herbs. Some persons just prefer to have their herbal tea, that's fine, but it's also good when you can um, blend them with your fruits and get the benefits both ways. So this is Nandi, and thank you for joining me. Remember, join me again tomorrow morning. And also in the evening, I prepare my juices twice per day, 2 batches each time. All right, so take care until I see you again. And remember to subscribe if you have not yet done so, and share the videos. Leave your comments and your questions, and I'll gladly respond.